Hey guys, I just got back from Dollar Tree for the third time, and this is the third hack that I thought of. And I think this will really help you get your seeds and plugs off to an advanced start by using this one hack, and it could make a huge difference. So all of these items were purchased at Dollar Tree. There's a couple that they were out of stock. If you go to your Dollar Tree and they don't have any of the items that I'm showing here, you can order them online and have them shipped to the store. A lot of times you can purchase larger quantities of stuff. We had a popcorn party for a lot of kids, and we just ordered a large number of the popcorn tubs they have there and had it shipped directly to the store. So it is possible that if you don't see it at the store, order it online and have it shipped to your local store. Now, if you don't have a Dollar Tree close to you, or you'd just rather have it shipped to your house directly, then I'll link everything down below, preferably from Amazon, which is probably going to be the majority of people, the way that they'll want to get it. But these items will help get your garden off to a quicker start in the spring, also protect it throughout the summer and even into the fall. So this is a great idea that I think that will really help you a lot. So let's head out to the garden and I'll show you exactly how to put this together. It's really simple. So guys, this is my one of my mini 4x4 beds, and I'm going to use this bed to start some seeds. I'm going to top it with some really quality soil that I've made myself. I'll put a link to the description how to make your own soil, and also I'm going to mix in a little bit of black cow compost. If you have a composter, you could use your own compost as well. I have a video that tells you how to make your own two types of composters. One is a standard composter and one is a vermi composter. So I'll put those down below. But the first thing you're going to need to do from your Dollar Tree store item is take one of your broom handles, just a common broom handle, and you can put that, and I've got it upside down. You want the screw side at the top and the end of the handle, the grip part up here, you want that going into the ground. So make sure when you put it in the ground that you use a rubber mallet, and it's probably going to work better, and you're going to be less chance of damaging it rather than using a metal hammer. So remember, rubber mallet to your broom handle, first step. So I've hammered these in the ground about maybe a foot, maybe a little bit more, and they went through the soil that's in my garden bed, which is fairly loose soil, but I've went into the subsoil here, into the heavy clay, which is what I naturally have, and they're very sturdy. They're not going to fall over in a heavy wind. That's what you want. You want it to be very sturdy and not fall over easy. If you don't have something like this, you're going to need to maybe attach it to the side of your raised bed or put it into a concrete base, something like that. But the easiest thing for me is just to hammer it directly into the subsoil that's below my garden bed. So that's step one, and we'll go on to the next step. Now the next item I picked up from Dollar Tree is these children's hula hoops. This is a 25-inch hula hoop diameter, and we're going to need to split this in half. Now it can be separated. If you'll look right here at the end, there's a piece of tape holding it together, and there's a little piece of plastic holding it in place. We're going to remove that tape, go directly across to the other side and cut it, and I'll show you a little device I've got that'll make it a lot easier to cut it if you don't have the right tool. But most people who work with PVC will know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a razor blade and carefully remove this tape and see if we can pull this apart without too much difficulty. If not, I'll show you the device I'm talking about. But I'm just going to take this off here, and this is not the highest quality hula hoop, but it's going to be great for the purpose we need it for. As far as a kid's toy, it's probably not going to be very durable if some kids get a hold of it. But you're just going to take it, pull it apart. There'll be a little piece of plastic holding the two ends together. So we're going to go directly across to the other side. I'm hoping I'm still on frame. Go directly across to this side. Make sure we've got an even arch. So we want it to be right in the same spot. Now on this side, I'm going to use a PVC cutter. These are very common if you work with PVC. I'll put a link to one down below, but if you ever have any PVC repairs, this thing is indispensable. So I've installed my own irrigation system and have a lot of experience with it. So let's cut the opposite side in half. Okay, an easy cut. So now we have two equal arches. I'm going to do that again with two more of these, and I'll show you exactly how to assemble it onto our broom handles. Now there's a few ways to attach this to the top of your broom handles, but what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to make sure it's secure. Now one thing you can do is use a lot of duct tape. The duct tape will probably work unless you have some really strong winds. I assume that it will be pretty waterproof, but another way you can do it is you can heat up the end of one of these with a heat gun or with a kitchen torch. But what we're trying to do, since the diameter on this is smaller than the size of the end of the broom handle, the end that you screw in, is we need to enlarge this end. So you need something that has kind of a cone shape that you can heat up this, put this down there and stretch it out just a little bit, because if you can find one of these with a larger diameter, it should just slip right on it and then you can tape it into place. But this one is not going to work, so we need to expand that in. I'm going to do that to a couple of them and show you exactly how to do it. Now I overheated that one, and that was a big mistake. I should have held the torch further away and not got it quite so heated so easily. But we've got a little bit larger hole now. It's not quite as small. You can see that this just slips right in, right out. It's not quite as tight as it was, but we're going to have a little bit of a problem trying to get this exactly right with this heat. So we probably need to use our heat gun because it's overheated. So I'll go back, try that again, and we'll try it a little bit different way. I'm going to go back into the greenhouse and we'll try to heat it with this device. So after about 15 minutes of trial and error with my heat gun, my kitchen torch, a hair dryer, the plastic obviously on these are not as thick as the one I'd bought previously where I built a couple of years ago. So I would recommend using a lot of duct tape to hold it in place. If you have the patience, you can do it, but when you're under the gun, you have to do things kind of the quick way. So I'm going to do it the quick way and use a lot of duct tape, which I have many rolls. I think I have 6 rolls that I've had for many years. So we're going to do the duct tape. As you can see, it's been attached to both sides. These are extremely firm in the ground, so they're not going anywhere. So at very worst, you might have a little bit of tiltage if you have some super heavy winds in your area. So again, that's what we're using is duct tape. If it's possible, and you can use heat, if you have a thicker hula hoop, then it will work. But these are just so, the material on them, the plastic is so thin that it just melts them too quickly. So after that little experiment, I would recommend using the duct tape over heat, especially with a Dollar Tree hula hoop. So let's move on from there. Now this framework can actually serve as a couple of different purposes in the garden. In the wintertime, late fall, early spring, this could be a very inexpensive hoop house. I have some clear plastic in the greenhouse that I use for a variety of purposes, and you can easily put clear plastic over this, over the ends, and have a greenhouse. You want to, of course, put some landscape staples at the bottom and secure it in place. You're probably wondering what this is. This is actually a bonsai stand, and it's a little bit in the way, but I put them here because it's easy to get water to my bonsai. So let's go on to the next step. This is not going to be a greenhouse because we're past our last frost date, and I think we're going to make it for something that will help our new seedlings, seeds, and small plants grow quicker and easier without any hassles or problems. Now there was a couple of items they were out of and they did not have at the Dollar Tree, but they often will have it there, but you have to look for it and you have to be at there at the right time of year. One is landscape pins and also bird netting. Unfortunately, they didn't have either of these, and these were both purchased at Lowe's, but if you don't have a Lowe's near you, I'll put a link to both of these in the description. But you're going to need landscape pins and this bird netting, and I'm going to open this up. Hopefully I'm not drowning myself out over the mic. Now, during the summer, depending on what we're growing, the birds come in ferociously and just attack our new seedlings. And so it's really hard to get things off to a start if you're starting from seed. So something like this device will give us a head start. And I can put these, I've got a ton of 4x4 beds, so I can use 3 or 4 of them to get a lot of seeds starting. But you can see with the height, you could keep this in place throughout the entire summer and allow something to grow to a fairly large height. So it's not restricted to just small plants. You could use it for your larger tomato plants, anything that you're growing that needs protection from birds or anything that might come in. Now, if you're using bird netting, you can get this in different sizes, but this is a very fine bird netting that might make it hard for pollinators to get to the flowers. So you can get one that has a larger 1-inch diameter that a bee can easily fly into, pollinate the flower, and fly back out. But this is specifically to keep the birds off and some of the insects early, because I don't need them to be pollinated right away. This is early in the year. They're not going to have flowers. I just want to get some growth on them. Then I'll remove the netting and then allow the pollinators to come in and pollinate whatever I have growing in here. Now, I purchased zip ties also from the Dollar Tree, and so that will hold this in place. But I'm just going to unfold it here, and it's a little bit messy to start. So a little bit hard to do in the beginning, but you just want to kind of spread it out the best you can and put it over your hoops. And if it requires you to cut it into 2 pieces, if you didn't get the right length, you can take half of it and cut it off and then start over with a second piece over the side. But I'm just showing you basically how to attach it. And we're going to put that there. Just a little bit hard to unroll there. Now, I think I will probably have to attach this 2 times because it looks like it's not going to be quite long enough, but I have quite a long roll of it. Now, as far as the zip ties, these were purchased at Dollar Tree, and I want to put those on there to secure that in place. So I'm going to speed through this and show you the final setup in time-lapse motion. Now, most gardeners will agree with me that these landscape pins are indispensable. You'll find so many uses for them around the garden, but you'll just push them in just a little bit so there'll be a little bit of tension in the soil. Push your landscape pin all the way in, and it's going to hold the netting down even in a strong wind, and that way you don't have to worry about your precious seedlings, plugs, newly started plants from being attacked by a number of things. Even squirrels this will keep out. So that's another thing to remember, is that ground squirrels, if it's edible, they will probably attack it. And if you have, like we do, a lot of stray cats in our neighborhood that want to come and fertilize your garden without your permission, this will keep them from going underneath and bothering your newly started plants. So this landscape pins I would absolutely recommend is something you're going to need for this project and many others. Now, this netting is not the highest quality netting, but it will last for a few seasons. And one thing that I haven't recommended, I've been looking inside my greenhouse for my old-fashioned clothespins, but that's going to be an easy way to get in and out of your hoop house, your netting house like this. You'll just cut up a seam up to about here, up to where the base of your cut in half hula hoop is, and just use the clips to hold it in place. That way you can get in and out, put plants in and out, and it makes it a lot easier. So I'd recommend you have some of those. I've been looking everywhere for them, but I assume that I've misplaced them somewhere in the greenhouse. As soon as I get through making the video, it'll fall off the shelf right into my hands. But anyways, that's the way you can seal it, keep the birds out, and you can get in really easy by just by unclipping like that. It'll make a great way to protect your new plants, your seedlings, your plugs, your small tomato plants, strawberries, whatever you're starting, and keep the birds and other wildlife from attacking them before they're ready to go out to the main garden. Now, something else I didn't mention is you don't have to have it this tall. If you're starting seeds or your small plugs, you can just use the top half of the hula hoop. Put 2 rods in the soil. Some of the little green sticks you can find at Lowe's or Home Depot, they're just about this long. They'd be perfect to slide in there. You can put it in there and then put your either your clear plastic on there or your netting. But also, I found these at Dollar Tree, and these are basically a laundry bag. I believe they were $1 each, or $1.25 since they went up on their prices. But you could cut this to make it twice the size. It's really a bag, so if you cut the sides out of it and create it as a flat thing, you could use this. It'd be quite a bit larger. Instead of 3 feet, it would be 6 feet by maybe about 3 feet. So it doubles in size just by cutting it away from that. But then These will also keep out insects and birds. You use your landscape pins as well, and it will last for quite a while. It's a little bit more durable material, I think, even than this. So these can be purchased on Amazon as well. They're slightly more expensive, but I'll put a link to these as well. But if you live near a Dollar Tree, you can get these again for like $1.25. So one of the reasons I'm really wanting to protect plants this year is this entire bed was filled with strawberry plants, and this is the last one. After being attacked by birds, insects, and chipmunks, ground squirrels, whatever they were, they all came in and it's attacked the plants till this is the only one left. So I did create another video about a strawberry tower. I'll put a link to that up above. But anyways, I'm wanting to really make my plants last longer this year, especially if I'm having to buy them at a premium price and I don't want to start them from seed like I did with this particular strawberry. All the others are gone. So remember that if you want to keep your plants much healthier, protect them in their early stages, and you want to keep those fruits from being attacked by all the wildlife around them. So guys, I really hope this garden hack helps you. If you would, take a look at my other two videos specifically about Dollar Tree hacks, and I'll put a link to those as well, or put them on the end cards at the very end of the video. But if there's a way to save money and improve your gardening, that's always a plus for me. So that's one of our goals this year, is to maximize the garden and minimize the cost. So guys, I really appreciate you watching, and have a great day.